The work I've done for family drug support has taken me to a lot of places I never expected to go. I've been all around Australia. I've met and spoken to very influential people. I've been around the world. It's been a great experience, but it's an experience I would give back for 10 minutes with Damien. And we never forget that. We never forget that it's not just my son, it's the sons and daughters and family members of literally hundreds of people that we have to acknowledge and recognize that that's the reason that we do this. And we want to make sure that other families, if possible, don't have to experience that terrible time. So yeah, it's now 23 years later, we have the telephone line taking about 25,000 calls a year on average from all over Australia. We have 40 or so support groups around the country. We've done training in New Zealand and North America. We've, as I said, got 140 volunteers on our line. We have wonderful staff members, and we're doing new things all the time. We've just recently opened a one-on-one platform called Sage, where people can talk to somebody about their issues and get support. All sorts of things coming out as things change, and FDS is in a pretty good position, pretty solid, and now we look to the future. Well, it's been slow going. We've had to push. There have been certainly times when we've worried about losing our funding. We've really found it very difficult to get funding from other jurisdictions in Australia. We have succeeded now though, so not only do we get funding from New South Wales government, we also get it from Queensland, and we have services in Southeast Queensland and Central Queensland. South Australia have always been supportive, but we still don't get any funding from other states and territories. We're talking to them all the time. We're hoping to open up in the ACT, in Tasmania, possibly in West Australia, and certainly we should be able to get something from Victoria. But up to now, I'm afraid there hasn't been any. But we are grateful for what we get, and recently the federal government have given us our telephone line quite a boost with some extra funding, because we have to update our technology. We have to move away from landlines, which is what our volunteers currently use, and we do need to be on top of this the whole time. Obviously, the main debate in Australia and around the world has been this argument about zero tolerance versus harm reduction. Being on the harm reduction side of policy, we are often accused of being soft on drugs. We're often accused of being part of a legalisation push. We do believe in decriminalisation, but that doesn't mean that we support, promote or condone drug use. For goodness sake, it's drugs that have caused the problems for me and my family and for all the other families. So the last thing we're going to do is anything that makes that issue worse. I went to Switzerland in the early days to look at consumption rooms and heroin prescription programs, and I went with an open mind, and I thought, if I see things that I'm not going to like, I'll be prepared to change my mind. But everything I saw over there really made me realize that we were on the right path, that we have to keep people alive. People do change. Over the years, we've seen literally hundreds of people give up drugs, reduce their drugs, control their drug use, and live positive lives. It doesn't happen for everybody. Sadly, some people still die from the use of drugs, but as much as possible, we want to keep them safe and alive. I think the critical answer to that is that without family support, the possibilities for people succeeding in dealing with their drug issues is extremely difficult. There's a lot of research now that says that family support is essential for people who are dealing with their own drug issues. We know that from our International Family Drug Support Day that the message of support the family, improve the outcome is ringing true, is resonating. We know from research that we've done with our Stepping Stones program that when people come to that program, not only do they immediately benefit, but it's ongoing. We do follow-up questionnaires with them, and we find that not only do they improve through the course, but even after the course, they continue to implement the strategies that we've given them, and they tell us that that's really helpful and well and great for them in dealing with the ongoing issues. So we're always looking for volunteers. We welcome volunteers. If you go to our website, there are details on the courses that we're running. It's a very, very good training course. It gives people the basic essentials on how to support someone. People who are struggling with drug issues can ring our telephone line, can come to our support groups, can do our Stepping Stones programs. We're looking to partner with people to expand family support services in other areas. There's still a large part of Australia that we can't reach because of the lack of resources. Rural and regional areas particularly. We do operate in some areas, but not all of them. So there's plenty to do, and people can always donate as well. We've just opened up the Sage platform, which is the one-on-one online service that people can contact and speak to someone who can support them for about an hour. And we're going to be heavily promoting that because it's an excellent way of getting that one-on-one support. I think online is obviously a way of the future as well. So we're looking at providing education and information sessions via webinars and group sessions. Internationally, people want to know about our model, and so we're talking to a lot of people overseas. And of course, the other thing that's been on the minds of our board and our members for since about the year 2000 is succession planning. What happens to family drug support when I'm not around, when Sandra Lyons, who is our volunteer manager and co-founder, is not around. So we're looking to implement progress so that when we're not there, that there will be a service, and I'm pretty confident with the people that we've got, and we've got really wonderful staff and excellent volunteers. I'm sure that there is a future for family drug support. Again, I think we have to make sure that we are always resourced by governments. We're very grateful for all the governments that support us, but we can always use more. And certainly we're always looking at new and innovative ideas so that we can provide the service and the support that families need.